Hello everyone, how you doing? Stompar Gamer again. It's been a while since I make a video. I have a temporary setup using some cheap Walmart clamps to hold my throttle down. We'll see how that works today. I'm going to do a pilot reviews video for patch 3.10 live, and we're going to take a look at the Origin 325A. I'm going to go ahead and actually, instead of doing a stock loadout on it, because we've already done a video with that, I'm going to go ahead and switch things up a little bit. And do I not have a voyage drive? I thought I had a voyage. I do not. Alright, we'll steal the expedition off of the Warlock. Just going to throw some higher level equipment on here, and we're going to do the usual review, and then maybe at the end of the video I'll go and do some combat. So let's see. Polar. Size 1 grade B military. I don't want that. Let's put some grade 1. Glaciers. Come on, show me Glacier. Glacier. That's grade B. That's Snowblind. Ultraflow, Glacier. Grade 1. There we go. That's what we'll put on here. Best coolers we can get. Power plant we'll put on a JS. Using shields, FR66 and a Palisade. And weaponry rise. Let's throw... Do we want to do repeaters, or do we want to do... That's confusing. Let's do... I don't know if they fixed... You know what? Let's test this. The C788 ballistic cannon. We'll go ahead and test it today. That used to have some issues. Basically, it's a kind of like a mass driver. It's a cannon, but it has an explosive projectile. And the issue was with it is due to desync and stuff, it really didn't work. It would do 0 damage. Basically would register a hit and then no damage would happen because of the desync. So we'll see if that's been fixed or not. And we'll throw some tarantulas on the wings. So we'll go full cannon loadout. But we'll keep them on 2 separate firing groups so we can test them. That'll be kind of fun. We'll see if they fix the ballistic cannon. I'm going to guess it hasn't been fixed yet, because I don't remember seeing it in the patch notes, so chances are it hasn't. So it's been a while since I play, so I might be a little rusty. We're moved into the new house, and I got my new setup in the bedroom, and I think the audio's not going to be great on this video, unfortunately. If it is, awesome, but I'm kind of worried about echo. And there's just a lot of hard surfaces. I mean, I'm in a basement, for God's sakes. It's not exactly the best setup. So we'll see how it sounds. And of course, my daughter's at a daycare because we had to take her out because of my reduced income. So you'll probably hear her in the background stomping around upstairs or being really loud. We'll see how that works out. But I just finished my recurrent training, so at least I know if I don't have a job in 6 months, it won't be my fault. So we'll see what happens. Had some fun recurrent training situations and stuff they put you through. That's when you get in the simulator box and they do everything they can to make you crash the airplane. And if you don't crash it, congratulations, you're good for another year. So, alright, can I enter my ship? There we go. Seeing as how we're having desync just getting up the ladder, I'm pretty sure that the combine cannon is not going to work, but we'll see. Wishful thinking. We got patch 3.11 has just gone to Evocati. Well, not just. I think it was like early last week. So hopefully we're going to see, you know, the cargo decks here pretty soon coming up. That'll be good. Alright, so like I said, we'll do our atmospheric flight test first. And then once that's done, we'll go up into space. We'll do the space flight. And then we'll do 1 or 2 quick and dirty, easy bounty missions just to see how she does. Because again, 325A is a fighter. Now it's a fighter with a bed, a kitchen, longer range. It's kind of like your luxury fighter. It's billed as an interceptor. I would figure we would show up and it's nighttime in a snowstorm on Microtech. But you know what? We'll play around the city. Alright, so in atmosphere real quick, we're at SCM speeds, we'll check the roll rate.
Thank you, and please visit again.
Very good roll. Low altitude pitch, because why the heck not? In atmosphere, pitch is pretty slow, a little jerky. And then we'll get back up to SCM and we'll check yaw. Yeah, and that's about, shoot, 20 degrees, 25 degrees. So it's got that same yaw stability that some ships have and some don't. I haven't figured it out yet, why some ships are very directionally stable in the yaw rate, and then you induce a yaw and they want to stay facing forward. And other ones like the Buccaneer, you can just spin in a circle, no big deal. All right, let's check out the top speed in atmosphere. Yeah, not much above SCM here. I mean, at lower altitude, we're still looking 250, 255. So not exactly, a racer, even though it's supposed to be a racer. Still pretty quick. I know there's I forgot who it is. One of the streamers he has a little course around Microtech. I haven't paid enough attention to imitate it. He comes through here and he plays around through the buildings. I mean, it's definitely a very maneuverable ship. Because again, it is a light fighter. And I mean, you can't deny. Although I guess you can't really see at night. It's a very pretty ship as well. Alright, let's go ahead and head on up to orbit. Fortunately, I'm finding that at least on the throttle, the clamps I have, they're in the way. Cheap Walmart clamps, how dare you. And again, the interior for 3.10 hasn't changed. You still have the MFDs that are digital. And again, as I said in previous videos, I like how they're at angles. They appear to make sense. They're a little hard to see. I can't wait till we can adjust the brightness. That'll make a big difference. There we go. I'll take us up to the station. To Port Tressler. And of course now, we moved into a townhouse, so you may be hearing them mowing the lawn outside. Everything is conspiring against me whenever I'm trying to make a video lately. Alright, here we come up. Slow to SCM, and as we approach the station we'll check the roll in space. Roll is still its very good roll on this ship. Check the pitch. In space, pitch is very good, very responsive. Yaw. Same, very good, very responsive. Definitely same level as you would get in the Gladius, the Arrow. The Arrow is going to beat this on, lateral acceleration. As you can see here, the strafe is a little slower than you would see in the Arrow. But I would say from what I'm seeing so far, the 325 is very similar to the Gladius. Gladius might beat it, if you look on paper, probably a couple of degrees a second faster. But between the two, they should feel pretty similar as far as they feel in combat. Let's check top speed as we approach here, and then we'll decelerate as we get close to the station. Pretty good acceleration up to about 600 or 700. Slows down. Not using boost, just flying. And as we pass the station, we hit 1234. And now we'll flip and burn. Still overheating a lot quicker than I remembered the 325 doing. So that'll definitely be an issue. And this is with upgraded coolers, mind you. I don't remember it overheating as much. But then again, I haven't really fought in this ship in a while. Let's make sure it's not the same bug we saw the other day where we had the wrong size coolers on. Systems, Glacier. Nope, it's a size 1. Alright. Alright, let's find a nice little point where we can practice. We use... Yeah, that looks like a dangerous point in there. Like, that might end up with me running. But we'll try it. Come around this. Ooh, okay. Around the vertical strafe axis, that gets interesting. So I'm having to use a little bit of vertical and horizontal to keep around this. But I'm not able to keep as close as I could in some of the other ships. She definitely feels... Yeah, so there's the engines overheated. Feels sloppier than some of the other light fighters as far as staying in tight and close to something. So that's interesting. Let's come around here to the top pillar. There's a little less you can run into. It's a little fatter. We'll do lateral strafe. Yeah, so I'm just using left strafe. Yeah, I mean it's... Go back to the vertical. The lateral was fine, so around the yaw axis, that's, the left-right. Around the vertical, she's a lot sloppier on the pitch and strafe down or strafe up. So I have a feeling, yeah, I think she's not quite as maneuverable. If you're going to be strafing on target and you're trying to use pitch to stay on, she's definitely less maneuverable than the Gladius. So you're going to find... You're going to want to use yaw and strafe if you're trying to keep your nose on target more than you would using pitch. We'll come here where it's a little bit safer as far as this. And a lot of it may come down to she does have a higher SCM speed than some of the other light fighters. But you see how she kind of just blazes past. So here we are, nose on target. And you really have to use the boost, and she just very quickly loses track on the vertical, just doing SCM speed like that. So definitely if you're using vertical, you will be at a disadvantage as opposed to pretty much any of the other light fighters we've been on, even the Cutlass for that matter. She does not do as well as the Cutlass would at this maneuver, or even the Freelancer. Yeah, the overheat is a major issue on the 325. That's definitely more than we're used to seeing on light fighters as far as maneuverability. I mean, it's snappy, right? So just using pitch changes, stuff like that, and rolling and pitching, she's very snappy. But then when you try to throw in strafe thrusters up, down, left, right, she really lags behind compared with other ships. So in a dogfight situation against something like a Gladius or an Arrow, even though it feels like she's agile enough to keep up with them, I think you're going to find that they're going to be able to get the angle on you pretty easily, which is disappointing. But let's go ahead and let's find a quick little easy bounty mission and go try some combat. So we'll go find, here we go, I got this guy, Crime Stat 3. Leonard Cumberland. And we'll see if the call to arms is up as well. Grab that, because I have a feeling we're going to see more than one target at this location. Don't tell me the only bounty up is all the way over there. Oy vey. Let's check. It's got to be something else. Nope. Illegal occupants, monitors, claim jumpers. That's not a real test. Claiming a stake, maintenance, delivery. Oh, shoot. That's unfortunate. I guess we'll just start heading that way, and it is what it is. We need more criminals on this server. I didn't even see any player bounties. And again, like, comment, subscribe, all that. I'm at almost 500 followers, which is awesome. You know, at 1,000, I actually start making a little bit of money, so that would be even more awesome. But you know, I'm not really expecting that. If it happens, awesome. Um, New content will definitely be coming, and a lot more once I get my Monster Tech mounts. Once I do get the Monster Tech mounts, I'll do a review of them. Although everyone's seen them, you know, Noobifier's done reviews of them in extent. Board Gamer's done reviews. So everything I've seen says they're very good mounts, and I'm definitely looking forward to using them instead of using cheap plastic Walmart clamps to try to hold my joystick and throttle to my desk. Um, so we'll do a review of that. We'll do some more pilot reviews videos around soon. And 3.11 will bring some welcome changes to missiles. Countermeasures should work on missiles. The Freelancer nose will no longer dip on takeoff. If you fly the Freelancer, it's almost like it's butt light, nose heavy. So you go to strafe up and the nose drops. So that's supposed to be fixed, which is definitely nice. It was very noticeable, especially on the Max. So those changes should be good. Lots of little stuff, but also most importantly, the cargo deck and cargo deck missions should bring some real variation to gameplay for people who are enjoying running cargo and cargo missions instead of having to do the deliver to 3 planets or, you know, just jumping from point A, buying Laranite, point B, selling Laranite. You might see some variation and some real improvements of quality of life of just being able to change things up. You know, you go pick up Laranite somewhere and go sell it at a station at the cargo deck, and at the cargo deck you see a mission to pick up some boxes or carry some minerals from one place to the other and then make money that way. So that's some definite welcome changes we got coming along the line. They're getting rid of the armistice zones around most of the stations, not Port Olisar, but like the rest stops and you know, like the Lagrange Point stations. So that'll be a very welcome change. So if you're pursuing a bounty and they're trying to hide at Port Tressler, you'll be able to fire on them. Keep in mind, if you're a bounty, they'll be able to fire at you. Station guns are going up to like size 10. So that'll be kind of fun to see how that handles, you know, like a fully manned hammerhead just hanging out at a station. So hopefully we'll see some more interesting and dynamic gameplay come 3.11. No real guarantees of when that's going to come out. Really, it should have been out. See, 3.11 is supposed to be out for this quarter. So by October it's supposed to be out. So hopefully in the next week or two we might see it go live. And then 3.12 by the end of the year. Mercury Star Runner, the 100 eyes, so you know the 100 eye, the 110, the 125, basically the smaller variants of the 300 series should be out soon. So that'll be a welcome change as well. And while we're en route here, we'll see if there's any other bounties closer. No, there isn't. This is horrible. Yeah, and there is going to be a change to the cargo exploit. There's a fun. The latest patch notes had a fix to the cargo exploit. I don't know if you guys are seeing the live chat right now, and there's only 2 viewers. Woohoo, 2 viewers! Hello, you two. But the exploit right now, apparently, if you've got someone in, let's say someone's in your caterpillar, and let's say you have access to 2 caterpillars, you can get 2 caterpillars, fill them both up with, let's say, Laranite, fly one to wherever to sell it, and you'll also, as long as there's someone else in your other caterpillar, you know, you spawned it, they're in it, and you filled it up with cargo, then you can sell that caterpillar too without it having to go anywhere. Then that person can then buy the cargo there, and you can just keep selling. And next thing you know, you're rich as can be in no time at all. But apparently that has been fixed. There's not going to be distance requirement to sell, which sounds good as a fix, but then my worry is if you start running into desync issues and it's not recognizing your ship is in range. So I'm worried about that, but we'll see. You know, patch notes are patch notes. You read them and you test them out when they go live. I'm not Evocati, so I can't test it. And if you're Evocati, please do not comment, because then you're violating NDA, and I don't want you to get in trouble for that. Alright, and here we are with dead time as we travel. Star Citizen, I love you, but sometimes I don't. We're going to try getting out of my seat in Quantum and show you around the ship. Pray for me. I might get ejected. Alright, so this is the inside of the ship, the 325A. Got your nice little expensive wine glasses, your bed, your sink, little mini fridge. So again, in the future, I mean, already we have to drink and eat, but this doesn't work yet. But in the future, you're gonna have your food in here. You'll be able to eat and drink, get your water. I believe there's a bathroom. I think. Yep. You can go to the bathroom. We don't have to go to the bathroom yet. I'm not looking forward to that gameplay. I'm kind of hoping Chris Roberts doesn't actually add it, because how do you explain to your friends you have to go poop in the middle of a mission because you've lost the ability to focus? I mean, that's going to be kind of, I don't know. I don't know how he's going to handle that. One thing's saying you need a drink of water or some food. Another thing's saying, hey, I need a poop, gosh. Hang on. So we'll see how they handle that gameplay. But I mean, from that aspect, you know, the Aurora has a bed. You know, the Mustang, I think it's the Beta, the exploration variant, has a bed. You know, some of the smaller, but most of these small ships don't have beds. So this is a major bonus to having a 325A. And that's pretty much it. And I guess I shut the ship off by accident getting out of the seat, and it's still quantuming. Cool. That's an interesting bug. I know, I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce your name. It's like Arokb. You don't get Evocati by a spending limit. Okay, we did drop out of Quantum. It just took a while. You get Evocati by contributing bug reports. You know, you find a bug and you report it. You see issues. You're active on issue council. I believe that's the only way to get into Evocatis. You have to be a very active tester and actually doing testing and submitting quality bug reports and really, you know, going above and beyond. Like most of us are quote unquote testing the game right now, but we're not. We're playing it. We're doing PvP. We're doing, you know, we're testing things and we may find bugs, but most of us, I try to, but probably 10% of the time, I actually sit around and, you know, sit down and make a bug report. The other 90% of the time, I look to see if there's one, and then I click, you know, hey, yep, able to replicate, and that's about it. And yeah, the 100i is going to be a neat ship. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing it. I do not have one. I intend to purchase one in game, just like I do with the Rock. Now that we're being able to purchase more and more ships in game, I think what we're going to see is actual funds coming into the game are going to drop big time. I think he's going to see, you know, Chris Roberts is going to see, hey, you know, hey, we got all these ships available to purchase. We have more people playing. Great. Why are we getting less money in? Because people are going to realize, why would I buy a Hammerhead when I can grind credits, earn it in game, and buy one? I mean, that's, you know, it's a good thing and a bad thing. It's good for us. It's good for getting new people to come and play the game. It's good for enjoyment. You know, there's something to be said. I've got a bunch of ships that I've purchased in game that I own that I don't own, you know, real life. So come release, I won't have them. And you know, it's neat to say, hey, I bought this ship. I own it. I bought the equipment for it. So we're getting to a point now where I can, you know, recommend the game to people, and it's a great feeling. But again, from the other downside is we need the more the game gets finished, the more you can do in game without having to spend money. I feel the more pressure they're going to have to release the game and to get it, you know, into wider audience and selling sales and getting Squadron 42 out and making those sales, because they're going to get less people buying an Aurora, less people buying a Cuddy, less people buying, you know, if it's able to buy in game and you've got a starter ship. That's all you need, especially if you've got friends to play with. So we're going to see a lot less of, Star Citizen has made $30 million this year. No, we're going to see less of that because, yeah, I'm sure there'll be the new ship sales. I admit, I got a Talon and I got a Talon Shrike because they're gorgeous. They're neat little light ships. They're going to be fun to play. Looking forward to it. And I'm a sucker. But that being said, a lot of people aren't going to do that. They're going to say, hell, I can't wait to buy it in game, which is what I did with the Rock. I didn't get a Rock. I tried it out. I liked it. I intend to have one, and I'm going to wait till I can purchase it in game. And this is taking forever just to do one bounty. So I hope to God there's more than one ship once we finally get there. The downside of Star Citizen gameplay. See if there's any more bounties showing up. Nope. I swear to God, if I get a 30k by the time we finally get to Crusader, I'm gonna have a fit. I'm gonna cry on live stream. You'll hear a grown 40-some-year-old man going, oh, why? Alright, but we're getting close. 2 million kilometers. Yeah, Spaceman, as far as regretting buying more than the starter package, I can see that on one aspect, and I feel for you. Again, I'm a husband, a father, and I support my family, and now we're going through the tough times with Corona, where I'm going. Luckily, it looks like I'm not going to be downgraded from captain to first officer, but the hours for everyone is getting dropped severely, so my income will still be pretty low compared with what we're used to. But still, in times like now, it's like, ooh, I really wish I hadn't bought this or that. But you got to look at it this way: you're funding the game, you're assisting this game to get from the point where we've gone from not even be able to get into our hangars or summon a ship, or if you do summon your ship in the hangar, your computer literally grinds to a halt, to be able to do hours of gameplay, purchasing ships, owning ships in game. So all these purchases, they've helped the game. It is what it is. You spend money on games. You would spend money for most of us, the amount of money we spend on the game isn't more than we would have spent on pizza, movies, Taco Bell. God, I miss Taco Bell's good food. I haven't had that in forever. But you get the idea. We would spend the money on other things. So long as you're not spending outside of your means, I don't think anyone should regret if they purchased more than a starter package. They should maybe think twice before they purchase anything further. Again, the Talon suckered me in because it's pretty. But it is what it is. If you're going to spend more money, you're going to spend more money, but just don't spend outside of your means by any manner. And if you wouldn't spend it here, you might have spent it on World of Tanks. You might have spent the money on Star Trek Online. I mean, Star Trek Online's a 10-year-old game, free to play, and people still spend money on it. Just think about how you purchase ships, and that's all I can say to people is all you need is a starter package. If you want to buy more, thank you. Thank you for supporting the game. I'm sure Chris Roberts thanks you. But that being said, you don't need to. But we all have our needs and wants, and there are shiny pixels. I think it was actually proven, someone was like, you get like a serotonin release when you get something new. So it's very easy to get stuck in that I want new. Alright, come on. Let me plot a course. Thank you very much. Here we go. Go to OM1, and then we'll finally see some combat. And yeah, Spaceman, that's a definite point. If you've purchased everything you need from a starter ship up until an 890 jump and an Idris and a Javelin, you won't have the full sense of progression that someone might get from, they're going for their first Aurora to their first purchase of a Freelancer. But you will get the progression of equipping those ships. They're not going to be cheap to equip each ship. So you will get that. You will get that progression. So that's something. But it won't be as much. And of course you'll get the gratification of knowing you know, hey, if I want to go do this harder mission, I can do that. But I know what a lot of people are doing. All right, so let's kind of focus on combat. All right, so that's my wings, and that's the Combine. We'll test the Combine first and by itself to see if it does any damage. What a lot of people are doing is they're planning to only play the starter ship till they would have been able to purchase the larger ship, and then move to the next ship, and then gear the next ship up, and then purchase, you know, and move up like that. All right, so let's see. There's Mr. Cumberland. I gotta get in closer range. And we'll test the Combine. So we got plenty of people to test this build on. I'm sure they're going to be using the stupid shock and missiles. Alright. Let's see if the Combine does any damage whatsoever. Because remember, it didn't used to. Alright, it hit and registered as a hit. Oh, don't give NPCs those missiles. So I'm running away from a cross-section missile, which is about the only thing you can do. And engines are overheating, of course. I'll get back to this guy. I don't want to fight you yet. I gotta kill my main bounty. Go away. The engine's overheating is really annoying. Yeah, I think the Combine is registering the hits, but I again think it's still not doing the damage, because we would see a lot more movement on his shields if it was doing damage. And maneuverability-wise, I'm still seeing the lack of ability to use strafe to really get behind the targets like I could in something like a 325A. Let's check the missiles. 325A is supposed to have a special missile package, and of course does not yet. Like, I'm having a hard... Again, I'm out of practice, haven't played in a while, but I'm having a hard time keeping up with the Cuddy. He's able to stay on target on me pretty much the whole time. That's definitely not what you want to see. Like, that would have been a much easier fight in any other ship. And again, I'm using fixed weapons, but fixed weapons have been fixed. He's gonna blow himself up. Yep. So we won't get credit for him. Yeah, from what I can tell, we'll try just... Combine, I do not think is doing any damage. Because one hit from the Combine should I won't say one-shot this guy, but pretty close. See that desync? That was a wasted shot. The M50. King of Jousting. See, that hit the shields. It registered hitting shields. But I'm not seeing any damage to the actual ship. Might be easier, and again, you could do a stationary target, but I'm not sure that would even test if the explosion is registering. The desync is real, though. there he goes. Alright, so not exactly great combat. Yeah, the MFDs are still, they're really hard to see. That's definitely something I hope they update. So we took some damage. Again, 300i always seems to take damage on the darn wing. So I have a feeling the shield tech issue is that the shields do not protect your wing, which is unfortunate because that's where your guns are. So you got two guns over there. So if the wing gets damaged, you're in trouble. And that's also where your missiles are. So yeah, definitely I would have to say overall review of the 325A. It's a good ship. It needs love. It needs some attention to the MFDs, the ability to brighten them. This something about the vertical strafe is off. The strafing up and down and thrusters in the vertical direction definitely feel not great. It definitely feels like it's really hard to stay on target with, more than it should. But other than that, I do love it. I would not run this setup in combat. I would run repeaters, since it is so hard to stay on target. Not, and again, I'm out of practice. I've been playing a lot of World of Tanks, so that could be part of it. But it didn't feel anywhere near as good as other ships I've flown. So instead of using, first off, never use this ballistic cannon, because obviously this ballistic cannon is broken. It's not registering hits. We hit multiple times. The shields flashed, but no damage to hull. And at this size weapon, against something like an M50 or a Cutlass, there should be some damage occurring. It's not. So definitely C-78 still broken. These are good cannons, but I would keep them to something like the Arrow or the Gladius. I would just go full repeater, ballistic, or laser for the rest of it. This loadout was fine. The Palisade, the shields. We took a lot more damage than I would have in most other ships. But again, overall, fun. It's a good looking ship. It's fun to fly. And, you know, if you own one, I think you should definitely dust it off and fly her. Just be aware that there is a shield hole around the wings. It takes more damage than it should. And I really do think that there is some issue with the vertical strafing. Like I said, lateral seemed fine, but vertical seemed off. Alright everyone, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm sorry it took so long just to even get some combat in this poor ship. Have a great day.